Hello, talk about the reading technique which actually can help you to score very high in tests such as IELTS and SAT. And what I've discovered during the years helping many students clear SAT, IELTS, GRE, GMAT, and various other tests is that those who succeed have a process, have a system, have a step-by-step clear strategy to approach reading comprehension, and those who score less marks approach the whole test in a random way. So, what is important is that you have a system, you have a consistent step by step proven methodology which has given you positive results, and you apply them in the test, and the chances of you getting good marks increases exponentially if you master one particular way of doing reading comprehension in the right way. So let me take you through this system, which is very simple to adopt. I won't like to say that this is the only system or this is the best system, but it has definitely given excellent results to many participants. And that's what I'll demonstrate in next 5 minutes here. Let me quickly share my screen. So if this is the test we are talking about, where we have got a reading comprehension passage, okay? And then there are questions. Some people say that they read the questions first and then do the passage. I do not recommend this strategy that you read the questions first, but this is what I recommend. Read the passage first, but do not go with the idea or with the goal that you have to read every line and understand everything. Just go through it casually, like the way you read some piece of information from a newspaper, just for your own knowledge. Do not consider that somebody is going to test you on it. It's just casual read to get the basic premise of the whole passage, right? This you can do in 1 to 2 minutes. Many people say that I read line by line to understand whatever is said in the passage. That is not the right way. All I'm asking you is to read it casually. I'm sorry, I had to move out. To read it casually to get the basic idea. Okay. Once you have read it casually in 1 to 2 minutes, once you know the premise, you can go to the questions and then read it carefully with regard to the question. Okay, like whatever the question you do over the course of the passage, the primary focus shifts from, so what is the change in the focus? So whatever the question is, then you read the passage a little more carefully. Another thing, important thing, since I have read this question, is that do not do these kind of questions at the beginning. Defer your sequence. Do not go for big questions or passage-based questions at the beginning. Go for easy questions first, which are very specific to, like this question, main purpose of the first paragraph, which means you just have to read the first paragraph and answer it. This question, which says primary focus shifts, you need to understand the whole passage. So once you get warmed up with it, you can answer these big questions. Coming back to the reading technique, read it casually to get the basic idea so that you can start, and then you do easy questions first and then go for the difficult ones. Now, what is the definition of an easy question and a difficult question? An easy question is a specific question which is corresponding to one paragraph or one line only, like these kind of questions, question 2 and question 3. It says line 37, what is the meaning of this? You don't have to read the whole passage, right? And by definition, a difficult question would be one which will require more research or which is based on larger piece of information, like question number 1. Okay, let me consolidate what I said. You are reading casually initially to get the basic idea, and this you can do in 1 to 2 minutes. And then you are doing easy questions first and the difficult questions later. Easy questions are specific, Difficult questions are more or less scattered. All right. Now, why do I recommend this? Why this technique that you read casually first and then you focus on questions, and with regard to questions you read it again. Why this technique? Why does it work? Well, this is based on this particular book called as Hyperfocus. I just read this book and it says that our mind requires a little bit of warm up to perform at its optimum level. If we challenge our mind to perform at its optimum level at the beginning itself, it doesn't work. This stage where the mind is a little chaotic is called as scatter focus. Now, in this stage, your mind requires a little time to get warmed up. And if you want to give a good warm up to your mind, the best is casual read. Let the intuition work, let the things go very organically and easily. Don't force yourself to understand minor points, right? Let's say this is the passage. You don't even know from which parts of this passage the questions would come. So even if you read it very carefully, you're not sure whether you are investing your time prudently or not. You might read, let's say, these lines very carefully, but there is no question on that. So what point? So it is better to get a basic overall picture in 1 to 2 minutes at the beginning and then go for answering questions. While answering questions, definitely you can come back and refer to the lines which are given there. One more thing is this is also based on this concept of saving and investing. So basically, you save time in reading and you invest time in answering questions. What people generally do is they do the opposite. They invest a lot of time in reading the passage. They think that they have to read every line and understand it. And they invest less time in answering questions because they are not left with any time. Do the opposite. Save time in reading and invest time in answering questions. So while answering question, you can come back to the passage, read the corresponding portion a little more carefully, and answer those questions. This is a simple technique. First step, read the passage casually to get the basic premise, basic idea. Second step, do easy questions. While doing questions, come back to the passage and invest more time while answering questions. Invest less time reading the passage, and you'll see that you get excellent results by just tweaking your sequence and applying the right technique and mastering this simple process of reading. All the best to you. Thank you so much.